Hey, what's going on everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another deck tech. So today, we're going to be talking about $50 blue-white control in Modern. This is a very interesting list to build, and obviously we're going to be discussing it further here in just a moment. But before we hop into it here, as always, let me know in the comment section below after you watch the video. What do you think about the list? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What would you change? And as always, if there's any suggestions that you have, let me know in the comment section below what you'd like to see. I know our Black-White Zombies list that was posted was a viewer suggestion, and it was there. So if you have a suggestion, just let me know in the comment section below. And as always, the deck list will be in the description below for those who would like to check it out. So, okay. So, Modern in general, obviously, is a lot pricier of a format than it has really been in a lot of recent years. There's been a lot of very powerful cards that have been coming out from Modern Horizons 2, which overall makes the format a lot pricier to get into. So, making $50 blue-white control was very, very challenging. There were a lot of restrictions we had to make. I would say the original origin story of this list specifically, which obviously longtime viewers of the channel know, we do a lot of budget decks. I was talking to a friend of mine, and they're like, "Man, I feel like you don't build a lot of like control decks." And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I don't build a lot of control decks. So I'm gonna go ahead and challenge myself and build a control deck, and that's why we did the $50 blue-white control list. So we're gonna hop into it here. It's a little bit different than normal. Like normally we just go by converted mana cost and like card type. But this one in particular, we're going just by converted mana cost, so there's going to be like some enchantments that are going to be kind of mixed in. Like we have a 2 CMC enchantment, then 3 CMC that's on a separate slide. We're just kind of going right up by CMC for the most part, except for kind of the end, but obviously we'll explain that once we get there. So, all right, so these are our 1-drops. We're playing 4 opts. Obviously, kind of a staple draw spell, 1 blue instant, scry 1, draw a card. It is the most cost efficient in terms of money that we can play. Obviously, Consider is a bit better, but we're playing the opts just because we have a lot of budgetary restrictions, more than I would say with most decks that we built here on the channel. But anyways, opt, still a fantastic card. Then we're playing 2 March of Otherworldly Light. It's X and a white instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of white cards from your hand. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each card exiled this way. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment with mana value X or less. So, March of the Otherworldly Light is a fantastic removal spell. Obviously, being able to pitch white cards from our hand to reduce the cost is pretty good. But overall, March of Otherworldly Light, just a great card to be playing in a deck like this. Then we're playing 4 Path to Exile, 1 white instant, exile target creature. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put that card onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle their library. Obviously, Modern's past, this card was like the best removal spell in the entire format. It's definitely fallen off from that, but Path to Exile is still a fantastic card in general to be playing, and especially since we're playing a budget deck, we need budget removal, and Path to Exile will fit just nicely. So those are kind of our 1-drops here. So from here on out, it's going to be going strictly by converted mana cost and not necessarily by typing. Obviously, we had all, instants on the last one. But anyways, so we're playing 2 Dress Down, 1 in a blue enchantment with Flash. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Creatures lose all abilities. At the beginning of the end step, sacrifice Dress Down. So, pretty much the main reason we're playing this is it shuts down a lot of the elementals and such, that people play for the most part, so we can like Dress Down in response, and then it's just a vanilla dude. Dress Down is it's a pretty solid card. I like it in this list. It's obviously budgetary, which matters. It cantrips. Dress Down, overall, pretty solid card to be playing in a deck like this. Then, obviously, a staple. We were playing 4 Counterspell. Blue instant, counter target spell. It's a counterspell. It's the best one. Well, not the best one in the game, but the best one pretty much in Modern, arguably, except for maybe Force of Negation. But anyways, counterspell, fantastic. Then we're playing 4 Sinister Sabotage. It's 1 blue instant, counter target spell, Surveil 1. You may look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. So I wanted another counterspell. There was a couple options we had in terms of counterspells we could play. I did think about playing Absorb, but I ultimately decided to play the Sinister Sabotages over the Absorbs. Sinister Sabotage, still a fantastic card, especially in Pioneer. Obviously, I would say the overall restriction was I wanted a 3-mana counter. Archmage's Charm is normally the one we would play, but since we're on a budget, we're playing Sinister Sabotage, which is still very, very good. So, next slide here, we're playing 2 Detention Sphere. Quite the throwback here. It's 1 white-blue enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-land permanent not named Detention Sphere, and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. When Detention Sphere leaves the battlefield, return the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. Obviously, it's the Oblivion effect in blue-white. Fantastic, obviously, it can hit any non-land permanent opponent controls pretty much. Detention Sphere, fantastic card overall. It's kind of just our clean answer for everything, Obviously, we can hit anything with it. Yeah, just enough said. Good card. Obviously, hopefully our opponent doesn't play Boseiju. Then we're playing one Sphinx's Revelation. It's X white blue blue instant. You gain X life and draw X cards. I decided to just play one Sphinx's Revelation. I almost played two, but I decided to just play one. It wasn't from budgetary restrictions. It's just, that's what I decided to play. Sphinx's Revelation used to be like the best card in this deck, it seemed like a couple years ago. Definitely fallen off, but still fantastic to play in general. Then we're playing two Memory Deluge, two blue-blue instant. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast the spell. Put two of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Then we can flash it back for 5 blue-blue. Memory Deluge, awesome card, at 4 mana. Obviously, being able to get the 2 best cards is really, really good. Or we can flash it back for 7, and then we look at the top 7 and put 2 of them in. So, Memory Deluge, awesome card, helps refill our hand with whatever we need. I really can't say enough good things about Memory Deluge. So, almost our last slide here for the main board. We're playing 4 Depopulate, 2 white sorcery. Each player who controls a multicolored creature draws a card, then destroy all creatures. Yes, we needed a board wipe, and Depopulate is the best cheap board wipe. I would have liked to fit Day of Judgment or Wrath of God in this list, but unfortunately, with how tight this list was, Depopulate was the only 4 mana budget Wrath that we could fit in the deck. Obviously, Day of Judgment and Wrath of God are a lot better than Depopulate, or especially Supreme Verdict, but unfortunately, this is what we could work with. This is what we had. Then we're playing 1 Timeless Dragon, 3 white for a 5/5 flying dragon with Plains Cycling 2. We can tap 2, discard this card, search for a Plains, and put it in our hand. Then we can Eternalize it for 2 white, which means we exile this card from our graveyard and create a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie dragon with no mana cost. Timeless Dragon is obviously great. If we need a land, we can Plains Cycle it for the land, then we can Eternalize it later on, which is really, really good. Timeless Dragon, fantastic card. I've actually seen non-budget blue-white decks play Timeless Dragon just because it's very efficient. So, Timeless Dragon, fantastic card. I love playing Timeless Dragon. Then, our last slide here, at least other than the lands, we're playing 3 Narset Parter of Veils. It's 5 loyalty for 1 blue-blue, Legendary Planeswalker Narset. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Then we get -2. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature non-land card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Obviously, Narset, staple card. Our opponents can't draw more than 1 card each turn. And then obviously we can just dig for, board wipes or whatever. We can dig for counter spells, removal, whatever we need. Then we're playing 2 Gideon Jura. This is definitely the throwback. I still remember when Blue White Control played this on the main board for years. It's 3 white for 6 loyalty. Planeswalker Gideon. We can add 2 loyalty. During target opponent's next turn, creatures that player controls attack Gideon Jura if able. Then we can -2 destroy target tapped creature. Or for 0, we can make it a 6/6 human soldier that's still a Planeswalker, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Gideon this turn. Gideon Jura is still a really, really great Planeswalker. Funny enough, I actually have this in one of my commander decks, and Gideon Jura puts in a lot of work. Really, it's great. If our opponent doesn't have a very big board presence, Gideon Jura can just take over the game single-handedly against them. Also, what's really cool is with the +2, we can take it up to 8, which technically gets it out of range of Unholy Heat, which is pretty cool. Gideon Jura, fantastic card to be playing in a deck like this. Honestly, doesn't even feel bad, even though we are on a budget. But that is our entire main board. We're going to hop into our lands here, which are going to be admittedly a little weird. So we're playing 3 Celestial Colonnade. It's a staple blue-white land. I would have liked to fit 4, but unfortunately with the budgetary restrictions, we did have to cut a Celestial Colonnade. Celestial Colonnade is pretty much most of the cost of this deck, even though there's still not that much. When we're on a $50 budget, it makes it a little tough. But yes, we're playing 3 Colonnades. Then we're playing 4 Prairie Stream. It's the Tango land from Battle for Zendikar. Has the typing, which is important. What's also really cool is with forgetting the name, Timeless Dragon. It says a Plains card. We can grab the Prairie Streams if we'd like to. And we're playing 4 copies of it because they are dirt cheap. Then we're playing 2 Field of Ruin, kind of a staple land. Obviously, it's really good against. It's good against getting rid of like Tron lands. It's good against Amulet Titan. You can get rid of their problematic, bounce lands that they're playing, anything like that. Field of Ruin, just a fantastic card to be playing in a deck like this. Then we're playing 10 islands and 6 plains. As the spicy land of the day, I decided to play the Azorius lands from the guild kit. I feel like I've really been on a kick with these recently. I think the last couple episodes have all had these really cool guild kit lands, but they are fantastic. I've got a couple of them myself, even though I don't play a lot of blue-white control. They're just a cool land in general to be playing. So that is our entire main board. We are going to hop into the sideboard here. I think we only have 2 slides for our sideboard. We're playing 3 Tormod Script, 0-mana artifact. We can tap and sacrifice it. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Obviously fantastic. If our opponent is playing graveyard, we are playing the Tormod Scripts. Then we're playing 3 Damping Spheres, 2-mana artifact. If a land is tapped for 2 or more mana, it produces a colorless instead of any other type and amount. Each spell a player casts costs 1 more to cast for each other spell that players cast this turn. Obviously really good against Tron, good against Amulet Titan, any Storm decks that we might run into. Damping Sphere is our card that is going to help fix that matchup a little bit. Then we're playing 3 Voidmere, 2-mana artifact. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no colored mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. Obviously really good against all the elementals that people play. Obviously if they play a 0-mana Fury, it's going to get countered. It also can be good against like Tron decks. If they don't have any colored mana to cast their spell, it gets countered with Voidmere. Voidmere is kind of just a really good card overall. I can't say enough good things about it. Then rounding out our sideboard, we're playing 2 Dream Trawler, 2 white, blue for a 3/5 Sphinx with flying and lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, Dream Trawler gets +1/+0 till end of turn. When Dream Trawler attacks, draw a card. Then we can discard a card, and Dream Trawler gains hexproof until end of turn, and we tap it. So, for those who didn't play Standard at the time this was illegal in Standard, this card is an absolute beating. I mean, it's almost impossible to beat this. If you're playing aggro and you don't have an answer right away, you're just going to lose to the Dream Trawler. Dream Trawler is absolutely fantastic. I can't believe this card doesn't see more play, especially in Pioneer. This card just puts in so much work. But I'm rambling at this point. Dream Trawler, fantastic card in the sideboard. Then we're playing 2 Celestial Purge. It's 1 and a white instant. Exile target black or red permanent. If our opponent's playing problematic red or black permanents, we bring in the Purge. Simply put. Then we're playing 2 Disenchant. It's 1 and a white instant. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Really simple and budgetary friendly. We just wanted a way to get rid of some problematic artifacts and enchantments at instant speed. So we're playing Disenchant, simply put. But that is our entire deck. I feel like I've been saying the last couple episodes that we're flying through it. I think we're just getting really good at this. But anyways, that is $50 blue-white control. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me in this episode. As always, like I said at the beginning, the deck list is in the description if you'd like to check it out. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you like the list? Do you hate it? What would you personally change? Heck, you can even send me a non-budget blue-white list. What would you build today if you were playing blue-white control in Modern? And as always, if you have suggestions that you'd like to see on the channel, let me know in the comment section below. I take those very seriously. I love doing it. The comments, suggestions, I think those are really fun. We've done a handful of those on the channel thus far. I'm Commander Crane. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.